Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nightmare, and this time we're gonna go with Jeff the Killer. At least one of the many versions that I went ahead and kind of created-ish. So this is a look inspired by the 2017 CreepyPasta series that I did, and I had imagined Jeff would have one or two altercations and possibly, being super pale. He's not gonna leave without some, bruises and bloody injuries. I don't even know what to say. So first off, let's start with the face primer and put it everywhere on your skin surface. A little bit on your neck I would recommend if you're gonna extend your makeup. And then your concealer. You go with the lightest shade. This one is Fair Warm. Even though I thought that camera picked up on autofocus. Well, it's getting there. So this is gonna be fairly light already. If you know the classic photo, the original photos of Jeff the Killer, he is extremely pale, and you're gonna see sometimes with the lighting it'll reflect even brighter than what my skin, how light I'm putting it. Honestly, I'm going with one take wonder here with the audio. I've never done a voiceover for any of my makeup tutorials, so bear with me. If you do see me singing or looking like I'm talking, that is because I'm singing, or if I'm, moving around, being a little silly. Welcome to getting ready with me. I generally am blasting music and I have a bit of fun. Typically I would have headphones or headset, but I thought that would be a little rude, so I just went ahead and just put it very loudly on my laptop. You would think it would be the opposite, wouldn't it? But I feel like having the headphones will also shift and move them constantly while I'm putting on the makeup. Now you're seeing that I'm looking off center. Now I'm putting myself a little more centered. I still did not learn or improved much. As you're gonna see further into the video, I will be looking down quite a bit, and some of the makeup you can kind of see at the edge at the bottom of the video, and that's only because my mirror is kind of short. For a stand as it is, it's kind of short. So we're gonna go with a little weird trick that I'm gonna do. I'm not really gonna be blocking out my eyebrows entirely. This is something that I did originally back in 2017. It was an attempt at blocking my eyebrows, but they were not being very cooperative, and thus this time I'm going ahead and replicating, but rather than having 3,000 layers of glue, I'm just going with a solid one layer and making sure that all the hairs are flat. Now if you really would like to go and fully block out your eyebrows, there are plenty of YouTube videos with the process, or if you would like me to go over it, I can definitely go ahead and create a tutorial for it. Don't worry too much about it. For the most part, I'm trying to just dissimulate having eyebrows, and as you can see, there's the start of a lot of singing. So I'm also bringing down the concealer down to my neck. I really am going for the full-on realness. And here's the thing, you don't have to go as light as I've gone. With the contrasting colors that we're gonna go with for the bruises and the Chelsea smile cut, it's just gonna be such a contrast that it's okay. It doesn't have to be that light. I just went with what I had and what I consider my own quote-unquote costume makeup. So we'll continue with the elf trend, and this is actually one of my lighter ones, Pearl, and you're just gonna go ahead. I really wish I had a bigger sponge. You would think at this point I would just be fed up and get a bigger sponge, but you're gonna see throughout the entire series I generally stick with smaller brushes and smaller sponges, which make the work even longer and a little bit patchier. That's the first coat of covering up my eyebrows with something that is not glue. And I don't know, how's everyone this evening? I'm editing a little bit later than I had anticipated. I'm trying to see there through the viewfinder, my camera, and getting all the spots I need. Today was okay at work. Could have been better. It's gonna be a really hectic week, so you'll get some updates from me. Depending on how work went, it probably would change how I go ahead and narrate these videos. So we're gonna go with the HD loose powder. Again, e.l.f. I mean, they were having a sale. It is a wonderful time to just purchase items when there's a sale, as well as when they're already quite inexpensive. So with the translucent HD powder, I just go ahead and matte everything, as well as just smooth out any of the stickiness from both the concealer and the foundation. Now I'm saying stickiness, and here's the thing. This entire makeup look was achieved in under 30 minutes-ish, under 35 minutes. If you were to take your time and thoroughly block out your eyebrows and take your time in getting ready, I'm seeing how my skin is turning out on the camera. It's actually quite smooth. It also smooths out a lot of the sponge patterns, I think, and it really does blend into the neck. And a little bit more concealer there, just to really take away a lot of the color, but not really take away like the fact that I do have eyebrows. It's just to dissimulate, not make them as prominent on the face or like a focal point. It also gives the illusion of the eyes being even wider. I don't actually typically use contact lenses. I actually can't even wear them. I fail at putting them on. I've even tried having others put them on for me. It does not work. So by removing the quote-unquote eyebrows, it really does make the eye, illusion that it's much bigger than what they are. And using the, I promise this one was a gift from all the discount and then free shipping and the sales. I'm sorry, it's so much e.l.f. product. So this is the Vampy, which is a dark purple lipstick. I actually never used this lipstick before this video, so here's to first run at the lipstick, which actually worked perfectly for what I needed it, which it was a sticky foundation, sticky primer type thing with the color that I'm gonna then show you for the depth and continuation of the makeup process. I'm also kind of sketching out where all the bruises are gonna be, black eyes. I imagine from not having eyelids, he would be quite sleep deprived. I mean, you have humans who can actually sleep without closing their eyes, but I mean, if it's against the body's will, I would assume that he would be having under eye bags, and that's not counting also from the fights and such. We're going with the dark purple, and we're going on top of that, and we're going to continue sketching out. So basically I'm going backwards. Rather than go with the focal harsh lines, I'm first starting with what would be the furthest or the edges of these areas. So I'm going first with the dark purple, and then I'm going to go with a red on top, a brighter red, just so it could stand out, and then I'm going to be keeping with the same brush. Just a heads up, you don't have to have many brushes. This brush also was from the dollar store. It's actually a Wet n Wild brush, makeup brush. I believe I'm using the compact one. Fluffy brush would actually be much wiser, but I think I was was just going with the first thing that I picked up in my hand. So I'm going ahead over my lips, as well as then resketching out the Chelsea smile. I hope I'm going in order of everything that I'm doing, because I really am going on the fly, and I hope that this is remotely entertaining. And if it isn't, I'll figure out. Well, we'll continue changing how this editing style goes until we figure out what works the best. I'm also expanding upon those bruises. I think with open wounds, and I've had previous open wounds, is again, while in the middle of a fight, people don't really pay attention to where they're hitting, as long as it hurts. And there's the red. And so I would think that they would take advantage of an open flesh wound and just punch there. You know, I'm going with a little bit of logic in the illogical world that is CreepyPasta. It is all very, at the end of the day, it is all imagination and fantasy, so it's up to interpretation, as well as what scares you and what really makes you be spooked of what bumps in the night. And yeah, trust the process, Nightmare. It doesn't look like you're going very well. It looks kind of weird. It looks very Jokerish. Multiple times I've had to think about, like, and stop and think, am I going for, like, a colorful LJ? Am I just going for, like, the Joker? So this also continues with the line of thought of, you know, punches and such like that. Being that he is described originally, I believe I have my memory correctly, skinny and such. Also, one of the weak points of the human body is hitting in the hollow of the neck. I probably shouldn't even be saying these things, as it is I mean, self-defense 101. When you can, you just go for the neck. But that's here nor there. So I continue with the bruising and such like that. I actually still have the old photos up on my Instagram, yokai.prince. Also, like, the way I also went about this was, you know, for someone who doesn't do makeup very often, or is just doing the makeup for their Halloween day, you know, it doesn't have to be pristine. It can be messy. I encourage using fingers when spreading out eyeshadow and foundation sometimes, as well as the smudging and such. I think I went in with a black to really give some depth. I really went very dark in my colors years back, and I still generally do. It's a common theme. Most of everything I do, most of my makeups, I generally stick with white, black, red, and the occasional purple. So color scheme wise, it's very repetitive, this series, but again, it's very simple colors that you're able to get anywhere, as well as, you know, if you then have to use it for some, oh, and there's my betrayal of my camera. I thought I had more time, but as you can see, the betrayal in my eyes, and the distrust of, is it really recording? I had believed I had at least 40 minutes at most, maybe even half an hour, but my camera likes to stop at 22 minutes and something seconds. It is not a camera recording type video. It is more of a photography based video camera. It's a photography based. Oh, this is the start of my face paints and body paints from Mayron. I use this brand constantly when it comes to body paints and face paints. It's the brand I've always bought, and I actually quite like it, and it's very, very consistent in my life when it comes to creating characters and or events. So and it's brilliant for doing blood detail work. Just saying. But real quick, back to the betrayal of my camera. So you can see, this definitely shows that it's the first video of the day that is makeup wise, and as you can see right there, I'm bringing back the comment that I made earlier. My mirror is so low, and I thought I was filming a little higher, a little lower than what I'm assuming, as you can see. I'll rectify it as the series goes, but I'm still learning. I'm still getting used to coming back on this horse for filming and editing, especially with not being overheated but still be well lit from the front. Like you can see the quality. It's the same camera as I used years ago, you guys. If you look back in the old videos, I'm still amazed and shocked and in awe. You see right there, I noticed I wasn't capturing it on the camera. We're bringing back down that face paint down to the neck as well. We're going on top of all the eyeshadows. As I've mentioned towards the beginning of the video, it's a lot of going backwards with this process. Rather than start with all the high details, we're going with the background general mugginess work. And yeah, he's been through some rounds. I don't think he really goes out of his way to get medical attention, so until further notice, he just came back from a fight and or a massacre of a family, which is typically his MO. So some bruises, some abrasions, some I think he got dragged through the floor, and let's go with the darker red on top of all that to take away some of the freshness of the wounds. And again, all of this is still using the same brush, and that's on purpose. By using a new brush, you're going ahead and really giving full potency of the color and the boldness. But what we're trying to really do is just age up everything. Every once in a while you see me do like a really weird, wide-eyed face, but that's just to have the idea of, this small iris. You see, I'm off frame. Nightmare, you gotta learn. I will eventually learn and improve upon this. I feel like I really haven't said much. For as much as I've spoken for the past 18 minutes and 12 seconds, I haven't really gone over much. A lot of the products were elf products, very basic things that you can get at the drugstore. Going with the eyeliner, and then you're gonna see me, I'm gonna be smudging the fluff out of it with my fingers. Again, none of this has to be very nice and pretty. That's the brilliance about a lot of these characters. You can have your first go at these characters and it will still turn out really good. A bit more black to take away some of the bright red. We're not being Joker, not this time. And thus concludes the makeup portion. And we pop on the wig, which I still somehow have from years ago. I really should throw it out. It's been through HELL hockey sticks. I can't even remember how to say it. Yeah, we're going with the ending of this creepiness, aren't we? Crazy eyes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope some of this was entertaining, and if it wasn't, well, I will improve. I promise I will improve, and we'll figure something out together, guys. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow we're uploading another video. Okay? Bye.